right, here we go. Ready?
And we're back.
Hey, bud.
In a while.
Double Deuces. What's up, buddy?
Cheers.
Cheers.
We got to go see some live tennis.
Yeah, okay, so we're episode 7. Last episode was back in January 19th.
We'll pick it up. We need more. I know you guys have been dying.
Yeah, all of our tens of hundreds of fans. So, yeah, I know we're in the midst of red clay season right now, and French Open is literally around the corner. But let's take a trip down memory lane. We did get to see...
So we went the first round of the tournament, right?
Miami Open.
Open.
Back in end of March, I think.
End of March.
Yep. I mean, quick recap. Obviously, I did a quick video of kind of what it was around the grounds and what it was to go see the tournament, see the players. I think we went the Thursday or Friday. I don't remember.
Went Thursday.
Thursday before that first weekend in between the first and second round, or first and second week. You got some pretty good seats for the night session. It was like a whole day, but what's kind of
we started at Hard Rock Stadium with Felix, and you're usually good with seats, but we were in the corner
on the front.
Tough to see.
Yeah.
I think that we learned that you really need to be on the baseline behind one of the players.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
We walked around. It was overcast, not too hot. We saw Ostapenko.
Yep.
We saw Nishikori versus Tabilo.
Yeah, Tabilo. Yeah, who's kind of come hot lately.
He had a big. Is he Peruvian? No, Chile.
Chilean, yeah.
A lot of Chileans in Miami going crazy for him.
Yeah, the flag. I saw the fans with the flags and everything. I remember that.
Yeah.
We saw some. Well, we tried again the doubles, but they were busy.
Coco and
Pagula.
Yeah.
Right? They were playing, and Kokonakis, and who was his partner now? I forgot who he was playing with.
Wow, this is a good recap.
Yeah, I know.
The fun part is my friend's fiance, who works for a major bank in Spain, had a luxury box suite where she was entertaining clients, the high rollers. Yeah. And we were fortunate enough to be invited. Yeah,
nothing like a day of watching tennis all day and rolling up into a nice private box.
Rolled up in shorts and a t-shirt where everyone's wearing suits and dressed to the nines. But it didn't matter, so let's tell them a little about it. We had a person waiting on us for food, and we had a bartender. Very nice spread. We were on the 50-yard line. If you're watching a football game at Miami Stadium, it would have been amazing.
For football, it would have been awesome.
But what do you think for the tennis view?
I felt like it wasn't that great.
It was disappointing.
It was all right.
I mean,
but
we had free food and booze and a TV screen in front of us, too. Yeah. That was cool. But
private bathrooms, the whole bit.
Yeah,
but
private bathrooms.
But if you were there to pay attention at tennis, it was all right. It was good. I'm very appreciative.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was better than any other spot we probably could have
bought.
bought.
Jahara. I think our lesson was to maybe go later on in the tournament. It was second round, and we didn't get a lot of great matchups.
No.
Or maybe it was just the way that the draw turned out.
Well, it is like the tail end of
round
it really was round 1 going at 2.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of great players playing yet or just starting.
We saw Rybakina and we saw Felix in the stadium, right?
Right, and then I think it was Monfils.
Monfils
was the other.
He was the final.
Yeah, the night
we
match.
left. We were there close to 12 hours.
Yeah, we were there
about
all
11
day.
Hours.
It was a full day. Full day plus.
Yeah.
Double shift at the Miami Open.
Yeah.
So, if you've I didn't talk about this too much in my own video, but the stadium court is where the Dolphins play, and they literally take a quarter of that stadium, maybe a little more than a quarter, but it's weird because it's in the center, so all the boxes have a view. But it feels weird. It's just a weird feel, and the vibes, I mean, you would kind
Yeah,
of
so if
agree
you're
with that?
watching a football game, you wouldn't see the other opposing sideline. They kind of bring
Yep.
in the sideline. If one team is on one bench looking at the other bench on a football game,
Yep.
that's how they have it. It's a bit disappointing. There's not a great feel to the atmosphere. You do have to pay separate for more money for stadium seats. There's stadium and then the grounds and the grandstand. The grandstand, if you have a grounds pass, you have access to. There are certain, I think it's one of the baseline lower sections is where you have to purchase tickets. But otherwise, you're paying to get into the stadium to see the top players and really to see them in the first round kind of roll. It's kind of not worth it.
Right. Exactly.
The greatest value is the side courts, and there's a lot of good matchups on the grandstand too, where you can get up close.
I felt like the feel on the outer courts was way better. Than the stadium. I mean, I would have rather hung out those Butch Balls, Court 1, Grandstand, and there was another one that had a name for. I can't think of the life of me now, but
and I think it was good we went during the week. It really wasn't that crowded, and it wasn't hot. We've been in the past, or I've been in the past, where it's super crowded and super hot, and so Miami Open. Really, we were thankful to be in that box and lucky. We saw a lot of tennis. We were there for a long time. We had a fun time. We were planning on going the next day, but it was a rain out, so we just drove back to Sarasota. So it's a 3-hour drive for us, and we'll be back next year. But
for sure.
Bit of an overrated tournament. It's the closest one to us. It's 1,000.
Yeah,
and the outside courts and the outside setting are getting better and better every year. It seemed a little bit more shade. They had a lot more spots for shade, so that was nice. Yeah, Danielle Collins won it. She's retiring. What an amazing story.
Yeah,
she wants to have a family and playing well.
Shot up from 55 early in the year all the way up to 15, and I think, I don't know this for certain, but I hear she's going to be in the top 10 on the next rankings, irregardless of what happens French Open. But yeah, she's doing great. She won Miami Open, like you said.
Yep.
Then right after, she rolled into Charleston and won that.
Yeah.
The other two notable clay court tournaments up until now, I think she lost in the quarters in Madrid to Sabalenka, which, I mean, that's a tough one.
She seems to be beating everyone except Sabalenka, Iga, who no one's really beating those two. It seems to go chalk on the women's side.
Right,
but,
right.
Yeah, we enjoyed Miami. I think the move would be go during the week, get a grounds pass, and really take advantage and try to get really good seats. It's first come, first serve in that grandstand in certain section. Enjoy the grounds. The actual stadium is a bit overrated. So
for sure. And the location's weird. And, obviously it's the Miami Open. They're probably not going to move it anywhere else. But
dream scenario.
If you were to move it anywhere in Florida, my top three, and I doubt this is ever going to happen, but one, move it back to Key Biscayne, which that's not going to happen.
No.
I mean, I guess part of the deal I'd heard is Key Biscayne would not allow any more building.
Yeah,
right?
they had a temporary grandstand when they were there, so that was they wanted more courts, more. It's a public park, and part of the agreement with the family that donated the park was a certain percentage had to be for the public, and they didn't want a certain percentage developed.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So they couldn't grow it anymore.
Right.
So that was number one. I liked it at Crandon Park. I only went once.
Yeah,
you went a ton.
I volunteered a couple of years. That's where I really got my passion for pro tennis. I saw a lot of top players practicing, and I had a full access pass. So that was I'm grateful for that experience. But it's not going back there.
No. So my other two options. One, the USTA, I guess it's USTA Tennis Center, which I think is like their player development location, Lake Nona, basically Orlando. There's like 100 freaking courts there. I mean, that'd be a great option. I think there's enough courts to play Miami Open. I just don't know how great it is for viewing, though, right? Oh, I think they have a stadium because they played the Fed Cup, whatever.
Okay.
They played the Fed Cup there. So I'm like, well, why can't you do a big tournament? And then doesn't IMG own this tournament? So IMG Academy, I think they have a bunch of courts, but it's probably, you're right. They need a stadium. You need a grandstand. You need the pomp and circumstance of it all.
I think that they were such a key tournament in the 90s and the early 2000s, and there was a lot of players from the Florida area or trained in the Florida area. And then Larry Ellison, the billionaire, had a tournament at the BNP Paribas, and money is no issue for him. So I think because that tournament is right before and it's compared to that tournament, and they just have everything top notch, and Miami feels like an inferiority complex with them. Like now, or they're kind of a little brother. But
I mean, I've never been to Indian Wells. I hear it's awesome.
Yeah,
and everyone I talk to, it's like tennis paradise. But it's almost like he throws money at that tournament so it's good and quality.
Yeah,
where Miami is just doing all these things.
Well, they're a business. They gotta make money.
Right. Yeah. To be a business.
Yeah.
And it's a completely different feel. It's catering to make a profit, not necessarily cater to the tennis enthusiast, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like if you're in Miami and you want to be seen, go to the Miami Open, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a place to be seen.
Want me, love me, shower me with kisses.
And hang out, and that's a lot of the town. But hey, we're grateful we got to go. We live 3 hours away. We were planning 2 days. We got one fun day in, and
that's good.
So let's talk about France.
The French Open. So let's talk a little bit about the old guard. I mean,
Djokovic has not won a tournament all year.
Nope.
He's playing he used to just roll into majors and win them, and now he's playing a 250.
He took a wild card into Geneva, and he lost.
Not great.
He lost in the semis.
But you never doubt this guy. He's still number one in the world. It seems to be fading.
Yeah.
He has won this tournament before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this is probably his worst surface.
Yeah.
His worst surface. I still think he has a legitimate shot to win the tournament just because who he is. But he has not had a good season at all. He's got a new coach. Got rid of...
he just changed his whole team practically, right?
Yeah. Not going in a great direction. And then the tournament is all about the Spaniard who has won it 14 times. I think his career is 19 years, and he's won this 14 years.
Yeah, he's got, and
he's been hurt a couple of those years.
Yeah,
and
he's Nadal. I mean, he has also been hurt and not playing that great. He lost. What was it? There was the CA people in the Italian Open. Yep. His loss.
Well, he played in Madrid. That was his most likely his last tournament in Spain.
Right.
His home country.
And he committed the Laver Cup later this year in September, which I thought, okay, I mean,
and we're thinking a sentimental doubles match with Roger Federer.
Oh, maybe get Fed out of retirement.
I think so. Something
that's why.
Be like that.
That's why those random social media videos are at him
sure
playing.
There's gonna be like a documentary on the whole thing too.
Oh yeah.
The guy is playing at a tournament. There's a statue of him already. He's still an active player. And he's unseeded.
Yeah.
And he plays Zverev,
first round,
who had just won the Italian Open.
Oh, wow.
Playing lights out, 70% first serve percentage.
Yeah.
Just crushing the ball.
Zverev's playing well, but the last time these two played in the French Open is when Zverev broke his freaking ankle. Right?
I don't know if that's going to conjure up memories. It was kind of a freak injury.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's fully back into that form he was, which is he's won everything but a major.
Yeah, that's true.
He's won a gold medal. He's won he's won a bunch of 1000s.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's been in a final or was that a final again?
I'm not
Maybe
sure.
that was. There's gonna be some personal stuff going on. He's being accused of domestic abuse, and he's not required to attend, but there is a trial happening during the tournament, and he plays the talk about home court advantage. If there's anyone that's ever had home court advantage in tennis, it's this court and this guy.
The goat of clay.
Yeah. However, he is just hanging on for probably his last run of the next few months ever.
Yep.
Already a legend. People will look back and see this guy's name 14 times. They'll see the statue. Gonna be a huge, huge match and story. Round one. The other story is we just talked about Djokovic not being in form, not winning a tournament, choosing to get in more match play and reps by taking a wild card at 250.
Mm-hmm.
Yannick Sinner, who's been the best player in the world the last 3 or 4 months, had some kind of MRI with a hip issue.
Yeah.
Anytime you have a hip in tennis, that's really a cautionary injury.
I think it was back in Monte Carlo was the last time he
Did not
played.
play his home country tournament in Italy. Who knows? He says he's in the tournament. Alcaraz, shoulder injury, says I could not hit a forehand. He has been injured, and he hasn't really won much or played much the last couple months.
No, he hasn't.
So those are the four best players. I would say Djokovic, Sinner, and then we always underestimate Ruud, who just wins. Doesn't look that great, and he's quiet, but he wins. He won a tournament today.
He won
in
Geneva,
Switzerland.
and he won Barcelona. So recent
Yeah.
clay court.
Yeah.
You know, Matt, that's a 500
Right.
Barcelona. And
So it's these other guys. If your coach is City, if your coach, I know it's his dad, but you know, Paul, all these guys, Fritz, this is your time. This is if there's ever an opportunity to sneak one in, Stan Wawrinka style, get a major. This is it, but we have to see it to believe it because these guys have been dominating tennis. The younger guys, the last year or 6 months, and Djokovic and Nadal. Last 15 years.
let's talk about the men's draw a little bit.
Okay.
Without going through the whole frippin' thing. Because there's 128 players, something like that.
Yeah.
So, all right. I mean, my predictions.
So, Roland Garros, men's draw.
I think I got Tommy Paul getting into the round. Okay, let's go through Americans.
All right.
I think Tommy Paul can get to the round of 16.
Playing great.
Yeah. He's
Really coming into his own.
Right.
Really a fun player to watch.
Yeah.
Has all the shots, has power, has touch, has...
He's been doing good.
he seems to be developing that mental toughness.
Mm-hmm.
But he's going to run into Djokovic in the quarters.
Right. Or round of 16. Oh, yeah. Round of 16, he should run into Joker. I don't... You know, the odds are he won't get past him, but you never know. Fritz...
Playing great. Really well on the clay, especially for his style of game, is not really that clear.
I mean, Fritz, he lost.
His weakness is movement, and your movement has to be one of the strongest things on clay.
I mean, he got to the BMW 2. It's a 250 event play.
Okay.
He lost in the final to Struff. So
Yeah.
Other than that, he hasn't gotten to another final. I don't know if he got semis in any of those. Maybe he did. I mean, I kind of have him getting to
Casper Ruud.
He gets to round 16. He should hit Ruud, but I don't think he's getting past him.
No.
I mean, Ruud's already gotten to...
He's a great clay player. He's been in the finals twice this tournament.
The season, 3 times actually. Ruud got to the final and lost to Tsitsipas in Monte Carlo.
Mm-hmm.
He beats Tsitsipas in Barcelona the following tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And then he won this Geneva 250, where Djokovic got the wild card into.
Yeah.
So I think Root's playing well, and he's kind of underrated. I feel like
so Fritz, tough matchup there.
he's not getting.
So we have him going third round and then losing.
Yeah, he loses. I think Fritz again, round of 16.
And then the other two players are Corda and
let me see where I had
Tiafo.
Tiafo hasn't
Corda's
really been
coming back from injury and
Right.
hasn't. He looks amazing when you watch him, and you think he should be a top 10 player, but he hasn't been getting the results.
I'm trying to find where I had Corda at. Well, let's talk about Tiafo first.
Okay, so
If I can find where the heck I put them at.
there he is.
Oh, you see it.
He plays a quali, then potentially
Chapo.
Chapo.
And then you got Hubie in the third
Yeah,
round.
so we have him losing the Hubie because Hubie's been playing really well.
Yeah, and I think Corda. Okay, there's Corda. He's got. I feel like he can get to third round, where he would.
And then he plays the Alcaraz.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I don't see him getting past Alcaraz.
All right. So Tommy Paul has the most potential, we feel, and it's Djokovic in the quarters, but could be Djokovic. He has the ability to beat these guys.
Right.
He would have to play his best tennis.
Yeah.
And Djokovic would have to be a little bit off.
Yeah. So I feel like.
But the tournament, we have a lot of question marks. We have the number one player taking wild cards and playing a 250 and not winning it, not winning a tournament all year.
All right.
We have probably the best player in the world with a hip injury, Italian, who did not play in his home country the last tournament. We have a shoulder injury with Alcaraz, who has not looked great the last couple months. Who knows? These guys have been resting. They save up for this tournament. We have the German who has a domestic abuse trial over his head, which does not seem to affect him much.
No. Surprisingly enough.
So, who you got?
So it could be from the top half of the draw, anywhere from Zverev, Djokovic, out there, Tommy Paul, Medvedev, or Nadal if he actually gets his past that first round.
I'm taking Zverev. I think it's his time. He's won everything but a major, and then he's gonna play Alcaraz.
Yeah, the bottom half you're looking at most likely Sinner and Alcaraz in a semi, and that'll round out the bottom half of the draw. And
it's exciting. The men's have usually been just Djokovic, and who could possibly even give him a good match in the finals. Now it's wide open.
It's wide open. It's a lot of variables there.
Yeah.
There could be someone we're not even thinking about.
And the first round's looking pretty juicy. We got Wawrinka and Andy Murray. We have the big one of Rafa Nadal versus Zverev. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. So the women is wow. This used to be unpredictable. We used to do this podcast. Like, I don't know, 10 can win it now. Iga Świątek is a dominant player, and this is her surface. And she's won the tournament twice, and she is coming off an Italian. She won Barcelona and Italy. I don't know. She looks great, and it just seems to be her and Sabalenka above everyone now. And then that Rybakina has been suffering through some health issues. Who knows if it's COVID? They say like virus. She has sicknesses.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not even like physical injuries. It's being sick. She seems to be the only one that can beat Iga, and then but Sabalenka seems to be able to beat her. Iga has, Ostapenko has won this tournament before, and she has.
I don't think Iga. Has Iga never beat Ostapenko?
Yeah, I don't think she's beaten her. Otherwise, she seems to beat everyone. So
Ostapenko is at the.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it's 1 versus 2 in the finals.
I know, right?
Wow, I'm gonna go Iga Świątek to.
Going with the number one player who's been playing really well and beating number two player.
Been playing pretty well. So Madison Keys has been playing well, and Coco. Hey, she's 19-20.
Yeah.
Not serving well, not playing a forehand well, but seems to be in the semis of every tournament she enters.
Yeah. Yeah. She just runs into Eagle or Sabalenka.
Yeah, she can't beat them.
No.
So they seem to be at another level. And Danielle Collins we harped on her earlier. She won the Miami tournament and she's retiring. Great story, American. She does not take shit. She's just out there, hits the crap out of all. She's just a fun player to watch. She seems to be one level below Iga and Sabalenka. They seem to be able to beat her too, but she seems to be able to beat every other player. So
she's gotten pretty close.
Yeah.
I feel like if anyone else is close to beating those two.
I feel like she's more of a hardcore player than the clay, but she's been doing well on the clay.
I mean, yeah, she's getting deep in the draws.
Yeah, she was just in the finals of
Strasbourg
is Germany.
Yeah, and she lost to Madison Keys, like you're saying.
Right,
and
so
straight sets or 3 sets, I'm not sure, but yeah.
We have some American players playing well.
Yeah, the Danimal.
But it just seems like there's 2 players in the women's draw that are a step above everyone.
Well, it's wide open on the men's, but the women, there's a few variables. But obviously, the dream scenario would be for Rafa to get past his first round match with Zverev. And I feel like he's got a good run. If he can get past first round and actually beat Zverev, let's say he does that. Let's say Nadal does that.
Dream scenario.
He could
his plan there would be Zverev gets nervous. The crowd is going crazy, and Rafa's moving well. But I don't know. It's like his serve. He can't seem to hold serve easily.
Right. I mean, yeah. I don't realistically.
That's our dream scenario.
The dream scenario, if he gets past Zverev, he could probably beat Goffin in second round. Greek Spore in a third.
Yep.
I don't know if he could beat Rune in 16.
Rune that's his idol. He's so intimidated by him.
Then he could get Medvedev in the quarters. And if you can get past Medvedev, which is possible,
it's not a great play.
then he's got Djokovic in the semis, provided Tommy Paul doesn't do an upset. But there's your dream scenario. I mean, that's a heck of a. Wouldn't that be a Final Four? Djokovic and Nadal, and then Sinner and Alcaraz.
If I had to bet my life, I would bet Djokovic, Alcaraz, and Alcaraz wins the tournament. That's what I'm saying.
That's literally old guard versus new guard right there. You know, the best of the old guard takes on the best of the new guard. But
I think the best of the new guard is probably Sinner right now.
Yeah, if he's not hurt, I feel like he's the best player.
Yeah. Supposedly he had an MRI and didn't these are all red flags. MRI, hip.
Hasn't played.
Yeah.
For a while now.
Yeah. Didn't play at some tournament. So it's wide open for these guys that never won one. Rude, Tommy Paul, Medvedev. I mean, Medvedev has won one, but Tsitsipas, who's a great clay player. Yeah. It should be fun.
It's interesting. We'll see how this goes. Obviously, you said it starts tomorrow. We'll see. I don't even know who's going to carry it, but
it's Tennis Show.
Tennis Show's going to get it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I didn't know. I saw something about Paramount Plus. I'm like, great, I got to get that now. So that's like French Open and culmination of all the clay court season. We'll see how that Rick Clay goes. We talked about this a little bit, but have you seen the thing about this USTA growth plan?
Yeah, so there was an open letter from one of the longtime coaches, and you were saying he was calling out the way that everything was organized and how the funds are being distributed and what the goal is. They say their goal is to have 35 million people playing tennis
by
2035.
That's the headline. Yeah. So a little bit of the background. This was a press release back in April 3rd, right? Early April. And when I read it, it's marketing gobbledygook to me, but it's like, we're going to grow tennis to 35 million people, tennis players by 2035, and just having opportunities for different diverse groups and creating programs and scaling and blah 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 blah. Right?
I think the key, because it's interesting. I have two friends. I didn't tell you about this. They're from Miami. I was shocked, but they are into tennis. They took tennis lessons.
Wow.
I just instructed them on the rackets they should buy.
Oh, the one they tell me.
They didn't know that they needed tennis shoes. And they're loving it. Just,
Cool.
I came to the game later on in life. I played a little bit as a kid. I played in my late 30s. I got really into it. Listen, they have money for these lessons, and a cheap lesson is $60, but lessons are $80 to $125.
Mm-hmm.
So people that don't have money, that's what I think they need to invest in, some type of like paying coaches to teach the public or something. Even those clinics, just getting people on a public court clinic.
Making it fun.
If they want more people, make more courts. First of all, we already went through pickleball being taking over these courts. Can't stand that. Let's not get into it. More courts and subsidizing coaching, I think, would be to get more people out. I think that's the key, just to get a couple, like to hit topspin. Like, once you learn topspin and maybe how to hit a decent serve,
right,
you're kind of hooked. Otherwise, a barrier to the game, a barrier of entry.
Well, yeah, because it's kind of tennis can be seen as a kind of elitist type of sport sometimes.
Because you can play for free, and you got to buy the balls.
You can
need a racket, but
you can get cheap rackets.
Through the racket thing. There's a lot of good rackets on the used market.
Oh yeah, you don't have to get $100 racket. You can start out with something inexpensive just to get it going.
And I think the key, which helped me, and I lucked out, was I was fortunate to find a really good coach, which really expedited my level. And then once you're getting better at something, you're going to play it more and you like it more. So,
did you find a coach and we think we may have talked about this before, but did you just go out and search a lot, or?
Yeah, I tried a lot of different things. I lucked out 10 years ago. So it was Craigslist, and her name's Gabby Paz. She's got a great account online if you want to follow her. Mm-hmm. She coaches a lot of junior girls, but she told me everything, and I was blown away by her. I've taken a lot of lessons, a couple before her, and then a lot after her. Mm-hmm. And what I'm noticing with lessons, a lot of it is, especially here, they're used to either older doubles players or just babysitting kids, and it's
you're just sitting there with a bucket of balls.
They want you to like them, and it's not a lot of. I'm more into the technical aspect of stuff, but I guess the criticism is that how they're spending this budget. A lot of it is just from the U.S. Open. It's confusing, and it seems like a corporate boondoggle, right?
Yeah, it's a mess. It sounds like some. I mean, it takes no rocket science to know tennis seems to be in a bit of a decline in the U.S. Right?
It got a bump in COVID because you could play it.
It was like one of the only sports they said was okay to go out and do.
But it's got so much benefits socially. I mean, we met each other through tennis. They say that tennis players live longer.
Oh yeah, racket sports.
Physical aspect and the playing tennis.
Yep.
You meet a lot of new people. Mm-hmm. It's something you can continuously improve upon. We live in a community where there's a lot of older players that inspire me. You see guys in their 60s. I told you today there was a couple in their 60s, a husband and wife, like really playing well. And the wife won. They were playing singles, and I was blown away how good they were. So that just makes you feel like, okay, like in 20 years, I can still play this game and play it at a good level. So
I think I told you I subbed in for mixed doubles this week at the club, and I tried to come in and not really nail my serves, and the female on the other side was just ripping back, and I'm like, all right, I guess I got to put some more on this, and she still was handling them fine. I'm like, okay, so she wasn't afraid. Sometimes when you have people don't know how to handle pace and you rip shots and they're at the net.
Oh yeah.
Here I'm going with this.
Yeah.
She was fine with my ground strokes coming at her at the net when she's at the net. That's good to see. I like seeing that change where you're like, oh wow. she's the better player of the two. I was not expecting that.
Yeah. If you want to grow the game, get more rackets in people's hands. Either give them out or, maybe buy them up on the secondary market and sell them. Get subsidized coaching, so it's clinics for free and have more courts. That's how you get more people playing.
Courts is huge.
Yeah.
Every tennis court now, it feels like, has pickleball court lines on them.
Or they can put 4 pickleball courts on where a tennis court is. So they're going to that because they feel like that's there's more people playing it. And
this plan seems interesting at the high level, right? Creating scalable programs for new and returning players, expanding availability of quality coaches, maximizing court availability. But
the problem is they're just not transparent.
No,
where this money's going. They're making a ton of money from the U.S. Open.
Right.
It seems like from this letter, what you mentioned, I didn't read it, that they're doing $1 million Christmas party.
Yeah.
And if your goal is to grow the game, then we told you where to go. But if your goal is to have more American players, top players, then I don't know. You just got to give money for coaches. Don't have your own coaches. Just be like, all right, you spend this on your coaching.
You got to get kids interested, involved.
Yeah.
Number one, you got to get. I feel like at all age levels, you got to get them involved. Right. All the way up.
Well, let's talk about women. There's not a lot of pro sports that you can go into as a woman.
Right.
This is the pro sport that you make money in.
Right. Yeah.
Big time money.
Yeah. You can make money for sure. Yeah.
They're probably the best women athletes in the world. And it has the most interest. So, both men and women. Men, they need an American to win a major or be number one. It just gets more popular. We just like winners in the United States.
We're number one.
Yeah, right?
We're the best.
We jump on winners. We're on that. Everyone loves Serena. We haven't had any men. We need someone to win a major. That would be a huge uptick. Well, and then that buried entry is the racket and lessons.
There used to be not a lag in American tennis, right? You had Connors, you had McEnroe, then you had Agassi and Sampras and Chang and Courier, and there's few more names I'm not thinking of. And then all of a sudden you had Roddick, and everyone was on Roddick's shoulders. And then
he won one.
Yeah. And then he had these two pesky guys called Federer and Nadal that came around, and Djokovic too. So.
Yeah. But you're right. You have some really good young players. If one of them breaks through, I think it will really get a lot more people playing. We need winners.
Right, we need winners. And
Coco Gauff is pretty huge too, and she's already won one, and she's going to win more. She's just, I mean, like we just said, she's not at her potential, and she's still making semis pretty easily. And she's 21, I think.
She's got time. She's got room to grow.
However, Iga's 22 though.
That's true. Iga, there's something about her, man.
Yeah,
she's just kind of like
she seems mellow.
She's figured out. She has it, and I don't know. I mean, Brad Gilbert's a good coach for Coco. I think he's helped her a lot in the short time he's been her coach.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's full-time coach, is it, or is it part-time? I don't know.
No, I think she's full-time.
He's full-time. Okay.
Yeah, so I think the key is access to the game, which means rackets. Just donate a bunch of rackets to we have a public court, just like a driving range where you can go if you want to go to a driving range. You have a driver. Have like a public court where you can just go there and the rackets are there too. At the minimum, have subsidized these guys to do group lessons, beginner stuff, how you hit a fork, how you grip the racket, how you turn, how you move, how you the basics. That gets a lot. Once you get that in, you're in, and then maybe subsidize, especially for the kids.
Yeah,
make it free. Especially specific areas where they're not likely to have an opportunity to play tennis.
Yeah.
And then courts. We need more courts.
We need more courts. Yeah. Need more access.
Yes.
Not this lofty plan, but with no details behind it by the USTA. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I don't know. And Jose Aguirre was pretty critical of shortly after that. And he was talking about bad management, mismanaging funds. court improvements into Lake Nona, the USTA campus, and kind of Orlando area instead of back into development, cutting the player development budget by like 20 or 30%, something like that.
That's disappointing.
It's sad, but
Yeah.
I mean, what can you do? I guess until you get some good leadership in there. But I don't know. I just hope they figure it out.
It's a hard thing for us as just fans to understand because we're not inside tennis. But we told you what to do, what we need.
Start listening.
Yeah. Where are we?
Okay, we're in the club. So we're in the club. We're in the club, man. So how's...
In the club.
All right, so what's first? We'll talk about your campaign.
My campaign worked.
Your campaign worked.
There are these courts that are in a area of town where probably not a lot of people play tennis. And the nets were ripped down. What I think happened was either kids or someone like sat on them and the posts rusted. The nets were down. The lights were not working. So your boy got on social media, emailed the Parks Department, Leslie Nopes, and they responded quickly. They sent people out there. They fixed the nets, and the lights are up. Boom.
Nice.
Great by the boys. I don't know if we should be telling people this because we don't want people to go there, but they're a hidden gem for us. And shout out to the county. They responded and they fixed the courts.
Are the courts good still?
Yes.
Like,
courts
service are fine.
Yes.
It's just the lights were terrible.
The lights were bad and the nets were bad. So they were fixed. And then there was this court where it's by my house, which I've been...
that one.
I pretty much play all the time in downtown Sarasota. Let's not give away that court. The net
it's only
broken.
one court.
The net was broken, and they were on that quickly. So I think the key is if the tennis courts are broken in your town, find the Parks Department and voice your. This is for the public. Parks are for the public.
Yep. Voice your opinion.
Yeah. And hit them up on social media, email them, and shout out to Sarasota. They responded very quickly
awesome.
within weeks to finish it. So
cool.
I was surprised. I thought I'd be ignored.
And then there's those courts by the baseball stadium.
There's these other courts that were terrible. We had a friend trip and almost hit his head on them, and they were uneven. These are hard courts. And they seem to be we never really played there because they've been horrible, but we driven by there and then they were resurfaced. So shout out to the county.
Yeah, they're awesome. Actually, I went out there and hit some bucket of serves, and it's great out there.
Seems blue or green?
Blue.
Okay, good.
I think they're all kind of blue. When they got the
new ones, blue.
Yeah, they got the ball lines, but at least they're different color. That helps.
Yep.
I don't know. That court's been kind of weird. It seems to have turned into
a lesson court.
Yeah. Coaches all the time with kids, which is fine.
It's fun.
It's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So you played
I made the finals. No, I made the semis. Woo-hoo. And I choked, man. I used to. This guy, let's not mention his name, but he's a pusher. And shout out to him. He won the tournament.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. Oh, he won the whole thing. I played him
for fun, and I crushed him twice. And he beat me once in the league play, and then that's funny. I'm having one of those down dips. So trying to get back on track. My ball toss is off. My consistency is off. And the season is starting next week.
Are you going in?
Pick it up.
You gonna do summer?
I'm gonna do summer,
right.
Which is
nice.
Less people play because it's hotter here in Florida. But
it's brutal.
I'm excited for it. And I changed strings.
Cool.
I like this brand Genesis. They're a USA brand.
It's like a hexagon, right?
I had the hexagon, but I got something else.
Oh, okay.
The cool part was that I called the guy up. I don't think he owns the company. He might be part owner. Okay. He answers the customer service. I tell him my level. I tell him my game. So my game is I'm an all-court player, but I got a heavy topspin.
Yep.
I had some arm problems. I was using this certain string, and I look for control in a string and spin. So, I noticed a little bit of a difference. You're my stringer. Thank you. I think I owe you some money, too, by the way.
Good.
Give you some cash. Not only does he edit the podcast, he's a stringer. So I'm trying to focus on my ball toss and consistency. How about you? You seem to take a bit of a bump in level. There was a point where you were struggling with your serve.
Oh my god, my serve was terrible.
Yeah.
My serve was just absolutely atrocious. It was either
we
dying.
haven't played in a while.
Yeah.
We play tomorrow, but
we
one
played.
day.
Yeah, we played a little bit not too long ago, didn't we?
Yeah.
We played some doubles and so like I took a lot of time to kind of figure out my serve.
What did you do? You were saying a lot of video, or just doing a bucket of balls?
A lot of bucket of balls,
Yeah.
a lot of video, just kind of seeing what I'm doing wrong. And I've taken enough video of myself where I can see when I was doing it better.
What was your issue?
Mine
Mine is ball toss. Like if I can have a consistent ball toss, I'm pretty decent.
So loose wrist really helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Like keeping in mind a loose wrist. I
So
found
when you say loose wrist, you just try to do like a conscientious like loose grip when you're like prep like before the serve.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to do
for
that
sure.
too.
Because I was gripping too hard,
Yeah.
and then I was holding that all the way through the swing. So I had no whip.
Yeah.
I just was like gripping it too hard, and I was just kind of knuckleballing it over the net, which God knows what the hell's gonna do when it got over there. So that helped a lot. It got my spin back.
Okay. You've had a new racket. I don't know,
I did.
4 or 5 months ago. Or
I did get a newer Diadem Nova.
You did a video on that.
Yeah, I did a video. I love
tried
it.
I really liked it.
It's cool. I like it.
It's
I like it a lot.
Florida-based company, right?
Yeah, right on the other side of the state. Over in
You sold some rackets, right?
I got rid of. I had an older Wilson Burn. I got rid of one of them. I still got one still sitting around. I had the older version of Nova. I still got those in the garage that if I want to flip back to, or just if someone wants a racket and we're playing or something. But I like the new Nova. I like it a lot. I feel like it's more stable, and I've been playing around with strings personally.
What have you been using?
Well, I've been trying a whole bunch of stuff. So obviously I've got some Turna strings. I got some
Poly, right?
Poly, some co-polys, some
I play
multi-filaments.
co-poly.
I've been doing some hybrids, and I got some Touraline, 4 different types of Touraline that I've been testing out.
Okay.
But I've been testing out this low tension thing.
You test out full beds, or you do?
I've been doing hybrids.
Hybrids.
I've been doing hybrids, trying to get that mix. But
Okay.
I've been kind of going down the 40,
Whoa.
42.
Wow.
And I feel like
Trampoline style.
I'm getting more pop on my shots than I was before. Obviously, my challenge is a little bit of control, as you would imagine, on the trampoline.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm getting like, wow, you're really hitting the ball with a lot more pace. Well, because I'm trampoline on the racket.
Yeah, I've been creeping up. I've been traditionally around 50.
Uh-huh.
And now I want around 54,
Wow.
55, a little bit.
Yeah, you were lower. You were close to 48,
48, 50 for a while.
and you've been wanting it more tight.
Yeah.
So you want that. Well, you're generating your own power, so you probably want that control. Then.
My issue is control and consistency.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good with the power, but
I don't know. I've been getting used to lower tension now.
and you play without a dampener.
No, I don't play a dampener.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that. You feel like it gives you more feel, right? Okay.
I like to feel.
All right.
I've tried it. Like I've tried it with a dampener, and I kind of like.
I want to feel
like
nothing.
it. You don't want to feel it at all.
No.
You just want that ball where you want it.
Yeah. And I want a heavy spin, but
it's a tough. Obviously, there's so many variables, right? Between your
it's a bit
strings.
overrated, these equipment. I think it matters a little bit. The better you get, I think the more matters. I think you can really harm your arm if you're not getting the proper racket weight and you're using the wrong strings.
Oh yeah, if you too harsh of a string or too tight,
And the tension.
You're not, so your elbow's not bugging you, right? With the higher tension, or is
A
it
little bit, but not really.
okay?
Yeah.
So not bad.
Yeah.
Because I had
You have arm problems too,
I
right?
had tennis elbow before, and earlier this year when I was
Is that why you
I
went
had-
lower tension, or you did it for the power?
A little bit of both,
Okay.
honestly, because I wanted to see if it'll be easier on my arm, and kind of as a result, I was getting more pop on the ball. So I was like, all right, well, so this is a 2-for-1, so let's try this out. I think I need something that has more spin on my mains than what I've been trying, because I've been hitting a few shots.
What gauge do you use?
Normally I use 16, but I went up to 17 just to try it out.
Okay.
You use 18 on yours, right?
I liked 18 because it said it gave you more spin and it was better for your arm.
But you don't break strings,
the
right?
lighter, the higher the gauge, the more it's more likely to break.
But you haven't broken a string.
No,
I
because
mean,
I have you string them probably before they even need to be strung. I just have I kind of go and feel, and I'm just like, or they kind of poly ones. I just feel like they go a little dead.
oh yeah, they go quick.
Yeah.
They can lose tension pretty
Yeah.
quickly depending on the
Yeah.
string. Yeah.
But I think we're complicating this. If you're a beginner player,
Yeah, don't
really
worry
doesn't
about all this
matter.
stuff.
Yeah, you can mess around with it. It's kind of fun, but
Yeah.
you can go a little crazy. But
Yeah, especially if you start talking lead weight and all that crap.
I mean, I'm lucky I have you, and you gave me a good deal. But you're
yeah.
talking about $35-$40 sometimes just to get
Oh
strong.
yeah, 30.
Right?
Yeah, 30 at least. I think that Payne Park downtown,
Yeah,
the Court 13, they're charging like $45.
it's a lot.
I'm
And
like,
you're getting 2 rackets. That's $90.
I know, right? I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. By the way, I pay Leo $10, but I do provide the strings. We're talking about strings and labor. With
Yeah.
that 45, right?
I know. I think that's just labor.
No,
I don't know. I just saw
I don't
them.
think people have. I'm a little different. I don't think people come with their own strings to have them strung.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. then.
Yeah.
I just saw they have their social media page and they're trying to really push their Court 13 thing.
Yeah.
Right. And then
Yeah.
and then I saw a thing like we do stringing, and I saw a sign on one of their pictures, and they were like $45. I'm like, that's got to be just labor, right? I mean,
Yeah. Well,
they're trying to charge a premium because they want to be a club-ish, but they're
we got to
public.
take advantage of it a little bit.
But
Yeah, I guess that's it for the club. Summer season's coming up. It's Memorial Day weekend. French Open. It's fun.
yeah, we got a
The fun thing about the French Open is just it's on all day. Like I'll have it on while I'm working all day. I think it starts at 5 in the morning.
Okay, so then what's the offset? Like 6
7
hours?
hours, 6 hours.
6 hours? So,
Yeah, I think
okay,
they
it's not
start
too
at
bad.
11
Okay, that's not too
France
bad.
time.
It's not like the Australian Open when it's like on at like
Yeah,
3 in the morning. Or
right. So it's on during the whole time we're working.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so you're gonna do summer. That's cool. I'm on the
Yeah.
fence about signing up, but because there's some other leagues now other than Ultimate. There's this. Did I send you? I sent you the link.
Yeah,
that
UTR.
UTR. I don't know. I'm on the fence.
We had some semi-regular doubles that
Mhm.
disappeared on us. I would like to get it going because I do. I like the social aspect of doubles. I don't care about.
Yeah.
I care about singles a lot more competitively, and
Mhm.
doubles I just like. I like practicing the serve and volley and the
Mhm.
return, and I like kind of just bullshitting.
Yeah.
In between points.
Yeah.
drinking
afterwards, right? All right.
All right.
Cool. So another one in the books.
Yeah.
That was fun, buddy.
Hey, let us know any other topics you want to discuss. We take the approach of fans as hack players. We're 3-5 to 4-5 level, depending on the day. And
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
yeah,
All right.
see ya.
Cool.
Yeah.